Hey, I'm George and I'm here today to talk about the new Nikon Z6. This is Nikon's latest addition to its mirrorless camera system that it launched earlier this year with the Nikon Z7. This Z6 is what I was looking most forward to because this is for the low light shooter, this is for the wedding photographer, this is for the live concert photographer. I needed something that could work great in low light, that was lightweight, that had the speed to keep up with some of my more professional cameras, and that would give me the video that I really was looking for to do that some of Nikon's other cameras, like the D810 that's being used to record this, are not as good for in non-studio settings. So today we're going to unbox the new Nikon Z6 as well as the FTC adapter, and I'm going to show you a little bit how it compares to some of the other cameras. Sadly, I had to use my 810 for the video because my GoPro shitted out, so all I have is the D5 to compare it to. Not quite the same thing, but hopefully you get the picture. Anyway, let's go right into it. This, again, is the Z6. The box it comes in is so much smaller than the traditional Pro Nikon cameras. I was actually afraid that they got the wrong camera, or this was a lens. This is even smaller than some of Nikon's lens boxes. Anyway, inside we've got the usual manuals, usually in 2 languages, the warranty card that you should always submit to Nikon if you're a Nikon Pro. Then underneath, you gotta get through the little trap door there. We have on one side all the accoutrements. In this case, looks like something to, I don't know what that is. I probably should know. The charger looks like a mini HDMI cable, or no, that's a mini USB cable. This is a camera strap. I typically use Holdfast Moneymaker, so I probably won't be using that. And a battery, a couple other little tchotchkes. I can't tell what it is just yet, but the battery is great because the battery works interchangeably with the D810 and a lot of their modern mid-range camera systems. So this is definitely something I'm excited about. I already have a battery or 2 for that. So let's get to this body. Under a ton of wrapping, which is great. So here we have it in all its glory. And wow, is it light. So this is the new Nikon Z6. Let me move it out of the way. Let me move all this fun stuff out of the way. This is, right off the bat, one of the most well-formatted, ergonomic cameras I've played with in a while. Your hand, I have a pretty big hand. I'm 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. My hand fits very nicely in there. Into the grip. I was concerned that it might not have dials on the front and the back for aperture and for shutter, but it looks like they're both there. This is definitely a very modern, very squared off looking camera. Again, this is 24 megapixels, so this is more than enough for what you need if you're doing more documentary photography, if you're doing weddings, if you're doing anything that's not high-end advertising. This is the camera for you. It is mirrorless, so when you're looking through the viewfinder, you see basically a telegraphic. You're seeing a video display of what you're looking at. It's not looking through the lens like you would with a traditional lens. This is also meant to be used with the new Z series lenses, which is why it has the giant front hole, which is crazy. They're calling it the Z mount. This comes with 3 different Z lenses, like a 30 millimeter, a 24-70, and one other 35 millimeter, 24-70, and one other. I'm not sure which one. I did not buy one because I already have the entire fleet of top level G lenses, G glass. I did not want to spend the money on a Z lens, but I might look at what's coming down the line if they go with those very wide aperture lenses that people are talking about. Right now, I do have a 30 millimeter lens. You can see how big the camera is next to my 35 millimeter. And my D5, obviously this isn't even a comparison because this is just an enormous camera. And I understand that. Too bad I'm going to use my D810. This is definitely more of a square body. This is, the back has a screen that does slide out as so, but sadly it does not turn left or right, which makes it a little bit of a pain in the butt for anyone doing videos like me by themselves. Would like to look at what they're looking at on the screen. That's perfectly okay though. I think it'll work for what it is. Again, the dial up here has been changed a lot from the typical one. You can see that there is you have your standard manual aperture mode shutter, I guess all automatic P, as well as some custom settings. Over here, you definitely have your dedicated record button that's been on the last few generations of cameras, your dedicated ISO, and I'm excited to start playing with this. Again, this is 24 megapixel. It does a great job with video. On the side, you have your mic ports, you have your earphone ports, you have your HDMI, as well as your remote shutter. Let's show you a little bit of what this looks like with the adapter. And this is the FTZ adapter. There has been a sale over the holidays for that, where you can get it with it for significant savings. Inside, again, a manual. This is a very decent size adapter. I was a little concerned that this might be too big and this would be a front heavy. We shall see how that is with something like the 70 to 200. But right now, this goes on fairly simply. Pull off the lens cap, the camera cap, pull off the body cap here, line it up like you normally would. Be careful not to get dust in there. Though I don't know how the different, what kind of difference dust makes when you're talking about a mirrorless camera. Lock that on like so. And then take your camera, caps to the side, line it up, and there you go. This is a very large lens now. I'd say it's almost the size of my 24-70. There's a lot of bulk to it. It does have some weight on the front end, but it's not too bad. Again, still fits nicely in the hand. Underneath now, I have 2 threaded spots. I'm guessing you probably should put your whatever you use. If you use something like the Moneymaker, or if you use a tripod, you probably should put it in the center where the adapter is. Use that mount for your tripod, just so that the weight doesn't fall forward. Much like you would use the ring in the middle of the 70 to 200 if you're using like a Moneymaker, if you're using a tripod, the weight doesn't fall forward. This supposedly will have a extender grip, but people are noting that there's no connectors on the bottom, so more than likely will not allow battery or side-mounted controls. We shall see. When you put it down, there definitely is it doesn't sit as flat with the adapter, so it doesn't seem to bother me too much. I'm excited to play with this. Again, I think this is great for a reception camera at weddings. I think it's great for concert photography. That's what I'm looking forward to, and a lot of video. I really want to see how this does with video. Again, most of my videos going forward will probably be shot on this. It does have the hot shoe up top. I cannot see, it does not seem to have a pop-up flash, thank goodness, because I never use those, but it does have the Doppler control. It also has a much more padded eye mount. I have to always buy the Hoodman ones. This definitely looks a lot more comfy. Anyway, please feel free to leave any comments below. I'll talk more about this camera as I use it. Probably post some more videos about it. And any questions you might have, leave in the comments. I'll answer. Thank you very much for joining me. I'm George. Take care.